I've had quite a bit of trouble in the past trying to germinate really small berry seeds. The one that gets me a lot is the red mulberries. I put them down for their cold stratification, but I seem to always miss the moment in the spring when I need to get them out into their bed. And they sprout in the bag, and I gung up the whole batch. So I didn't even buy any this year, but I was digging through my seed collection and I found these high bush blueberries I must have bought a year or two ago, and I figured I'd give them a try in a different way. So what I've got going here is a deep layer of leaf mulch with a top dressing of compost. I'm going to sprinkle them on top, direct sowing them now in December. It's supposed to snow this week. That's going to tamp everything down real nice. And they'll go through a few freeze-thaw cycles over the winter and into the spring, which should be perfect for their scarification, stratification process. This is experimental, I'll say. I don't know if this is going to work, but if it does work, this is the easiest nursery bed I've ever made. Put it together in about half an hour.
Everywhere in nature, there are competing interests, and of course the forest is no exception. Grasslands and forests need fundamentally different conditions to thrive, down to the soil biology, and each has a strategy to nourish that soil biology. Forest soil is dominated by fungi compared to the bacteria-rich soil in a hayfield, and that fungi is hungry. We use leaves a lot in our projects. They often come in nicely bundled up, easy to move, decompostable bags. I personally think for grass suppression, they are better than wood chips. This summer, we grew potatoes in leaves, we grew sunflowers in setups similar to these new nursery beds, and I even tried some in the air-prune beds this year. That I wouldn't necessarily recommend though, because the mat of leaves became pretty impenetrable, and some of the taproots never found the air. For this application though, they are perfect. The roots will find their way between the leaves, and the lower layer of leaves rarely dries out. But planting seeds directly in leaves does not work. For that, we'll need some seasoned wood chips. These are typically cheap, if not free as well. Our local arborist takes a small donation that he gives to charity. We usually try to take fresher wood chips for mulch since they last a bit longer, but these little seeds need something rotten. This is the stuff you want in your air-prune beds. I'm putting a pretty light layer of wood chips here. I really just need something in contact with the seeds so they never dry out while they're germinating. The leaves will be the majority of the actual growing medium. Alright, we're ready to sow some blueberries.
So here's one of our seed packs. Come in this little tiny baggie. Doesn't say how many there are. I can't remember. I don't know how good the germination is going to be on them, since I definitely didn't buy them this year, so I don't really know how old they are. But yeah, one of the issues I've had these little tiny seeds is that they just kind of get lost. I've been using sand to stratify them, and they kind of just get lost in the sand. So it's hard to get an even planting on them. I think this is going to work a bit better. I'm just going to take a pinch of them and sprinkle them on. Nice and easy. So I'm going to do one of these rows that I made to the blueberries. You might not be able to tell, but there's a decent amount of them going on. Even if there's like a 30% germination rate, there's going to be quite a few blueberries. So the other bed I'm going to plant in the spring to little asparagus seeds that don't need cold stratification. All right, I'll finish up here. Well, that's it for planting blueberries in the snow. If you want to find out if these pop out of the ground in the spring, hit that subscribe button, and that'll let us know you guys are enjoying our videos. Keep making more. Thanks so much for watching. Have yourself a great day.